Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now, available in 2018, 19, 20. The album, Dad AF. Rock on, gorgeous woman. All right, I hadn't sang that song in a while, so I have to sing that. Let me just say before I get into this video, well, two things actually. First of all, I am in the middle of Shane Dawson's conspiracy video, which I will be doing a response reaction to and talking kind of about my feelings about that. I've been doing after shows on all of Shane's series that he's done in the last 6 months, and I've really had a fun time doing that. So I will do a reaction response video to that, but I'm in the middle of it right now. Honestly, it's giving me a lot of anxiety watching it. Like, it's really kind of spooking me out a little bit, which I think is the purpose of it, right? Because it's a conspiracy video. And before I, even say anything more about that, I just want to say that I think Shane is somebody that knows where to go when people are asking him for something because, after his last series, people know, he knows where to go when people are asking for it. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so many people were like, we need a conspiracy video, we need a conspiracy video, we need a conspiracy video. And what does Shane do? He comes out with a 2-part, over 2-hour Shane Dawson conspiracy video with several conspiracies in there. My conspiracy is this, is that I think that Shane's going to be getting a Netflix show out of this. So we'll see. Or maybe, I actually think a conspiracy show by Shane Dawson would be better on MTV than on Netflix. But I mean, everybody watches Netflix now, so that's where you want to be, right? Okay, so I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that show. I'll be doing that video in the next couple days. The other thing I wanted to say is stay tuned because some very cool changes are coming to this channel very shortly. So anyway, you can speculate about that below. Let's get into the drama. So if you didn't know, what you don't know is a lot. Jeffree Star is trending on Twitter. Jeffree Star's always trending on Twitter. Anyway, he is trending on Twitter today because he, over on Instagram, well, I don't know where it started, but it all came out at the same time, okay? It was just like, it all came out, and then everybody started going crazy. Jeffree Star put this up on Instagram. He put this picture up, and underneath it, he posted, Morphe brushes and Jeffree Star all will be revealed tomorrow on my channel. Hashtag Morphe times Jeffree Star. So what he is saying is Jeffree Star and Morphe brushes are doing a collab. And I think this is very, very interesting, And I have my opinions, which I'm going to share in just a second. But the reason why it's getting a lot of drama is because, I think Jeffree has made it pretty clear about his feelings about collaborations for himself, number one. Number two is he has his own makeup line, so why do a collaboration with somebody else? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And number three, people are speculating that Jeffree Star is part owner or has some stock in, in Morphe brushes. So we don't know because it is a private entity, I think, at this point, so we can't see, who is there and all this kind of stuff. And I have some opinions about why I think he's doing this. So anyway, it's really, really interesting, and people are wondering, what's this collaboration going to be, and all this kind of stuff, and one of the things that people are speculating, well, the reason why, okay, so it's more drama now. This is where I think it's interesting as commentary channels, drama channels, that we have had this, belief for a long time that a lot of influencers stir up drama before they release something because then it hypes up whatever they're doing. And I don't know if that's true or if that drama just seems to follow the releases or whatever, but it does seem to be that there always is a lot of drama right before something is announced, if that makes sense. Except for James Charles, because literally every day James Charles is like, oh my God, I have the most exciting thing in the entire world to announce tomorrow. And I love him for that so much. It cracks. I'm always like, what? What's it gonna be? Anyway. And then it's like, I made a cake out of my makeup. So anyway, but the reason why it's interesting to a lot of people, okay, and this is the drama part of it, is that Jeffree Star, doesn't typically review Morphe products, right? And he recently did a Twitch review of the Morphe Foundation release, right? Okay, and a lot of people are like, well, why did he do it on Twitch? Why did he do it in the middle of the afternoon? Why didn't he do a whole YouTube video about this? And I have my belief systems about that as well. It's kind of like a two-parter. One of it's not real deep, and the other one is kind of like, I wonder, maybe. And this is just me. Listen, we're just sitting in the kitchen. We're sitting around talking, being like, what do you think about this, whatever. And, some of these things we may never know. Some of it, it's kind of fun just to kind of be curious about all of it, right? So anyway, all of these people, number one, are hyped about, like, why is he now doing a collaboration with Morphe? Number two, you know, what is his involvement with Morphe? He's helped open a lot of Morphe stores. His products are in Morphe. People are wondering if he's part owner of Morphe. And I think it's interesting when we use the word part owner because, you know, just to be a partner of an organization or have money in that doesn't necessarily mean that you're part owner. I mean, kind of indirectly that's what it means, but not really. You wouldn't have, like, a whole lot of say in the corporation, if that makes sense. I think the other thing that's interesting about this is that people, you know, ask the question like, well, he has Jeffree Star Cosmetics, so why would he invest money into Morphe, which is basically a, you know, competition, and they're basically, you know, a competitor of his? Well, not really, and you have to think about it from this point of view. You know, it's like, if you are, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something that you know, if you're like Coca-Cola, right? And so let's say Jeffree Star is Coca-Cola, and you are going to do a collaboration with Pepsi. Well, Pepsi's your direct, you know, competition. So that's probably not going to happen, right? Unless you're Miracle on 34th Street and you're just trying to be so positive and kind and good. And then I think it would be kind of cool, you know? Then that's where, you know, if Jeffree and, you know, Anastasia Beverly Hills did like a collab, like that would be kind of cool to see like what they came up with, like the meetings of, you know, creative genius. I think that would be really cool. But you're not talking about that, okay? What we're talking about basically is like Coca-Cola, Jeffree Star, doing a collaboration, basically, even though they sell makeup and it's not his direct competitor, doing, you know, a collaboration with like, let's say CVS, okay, or Speedway, where they sell Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola is also sold at CVS and Speedway. Jeffree Star Cosmetics are also sold at, you know, I almost said Sephora. They're also sold at Morphe. So to some degree, it makes kind of sense, you know? It's like he's selling it out of over here and he's also selling it over here. You can go to the Coca-Cola website and you can buy all your products that you want, but you can also go on the CVS and buy your products as well. So it's kind of double dipping and it's not stupid. It's smart from a business point of view. And I think that Jeffree has seen the rise of Morphe and the stores and the opening of stores. And, you know, when we talk about like, this is just my perception from having seen all of this and being in a lot of these stores. You know, there's Ulta and Sephora, which is definitely, you know, like on a scale up from, like, if it's Walmart, okay? Like, let's just say Walmart is, well, Walmart does sell makeup. But let's say if there's like Walmart is, I don't even know how to explain this. Well, Walmart is like, let's just say the Dollar General or the Walmart of buying makeup, right? And then let's say like the Sephora and the Ultas are like the Targets of buying makeup, right? But then you have like the Morphe stores, and the Morphe stores are kind of like more of like the Nordstrom, if that makes sense. So it's a higher scale, you know, it's not just like the lowest level of where you can buy makeup. So it's not like he's going everywhere and just having his makeup all these places or endorsing his, I mean, he's, you know, at the top kind of what the makeup sales companies are. So to me, it's not a stupid move if he is invested in that. And then the thing is that he did this review on Twitch, okay? And he came out and he did this, you know, Morphe review, and he wouldn't really give a horrible review, and people were saying that it was really biased, and why wouldn't he come out and do like an honest review? Okay, so, you know, you have to think all over about Jeffree Star as, you know, a person that reviews makeup, Jeffree Star that has a makeup line, his integrity, all of that when it goes into this. And, you know, I said going into 2019, listen, no bias here. I'm giving 100% what I think. So I'm just going to tell y'all what I think about all this. And it probably will seem like I'm like siding with Jeffree a little bit, but I just don't think it's as deep as people think it is, okay? So he did this review on Twitch, and people were wondering why he did it on Twitch. Well, I'll tell you what my initial thought was, that it was interesting because right before that, he had done a video with Nathan's brother. And on that video, he mentioned something about Nathan and Zach having Twitch accounts and that they were going to go over to Twitch. So when he did this thing on Twitch, it didn't seem like a huge jump to me. It just really didn't. It didn't seem like they were sitting around. I mean, I think that one of the misconceptions about the internet, and I do believe there are some people that do this, but I don't think overall that it's a bunch of people, I mean, or it would all be a Shane Dawson conspiracy, right? I don't think that overall people are sitting around going, how can we trick the people? Like, I don't think Jeffree Star sits around with Nathan and, you know, just comes up with like all of these calculated moves and all this kind of stuff. I think he's very reactionary. I think that's why we see a lot of the negative comments on Twitter, and he gets upset and he blocks people and all that kind of stuff, because I think he's very reactionary. And so my suggestion to Jeffree in 2019 would be, respond more instead of reacting. But I don't think, you know, that is as deeply calculated as people think. Like, I think, like, at that time, he was just, like, interested in the Twitch thing and all that kind of stuff. I also want to speculate, and this is just my opinion, that there might be some contracts in place. Right now, you have to remember that this is a huge billion-dollar industry, right? So if he is, you know, if he's a partner of Morphe and he has any money invested in them whatsoever, or even if the contract is just about him selling his products in Morphe stores, because every contract could be completely different, there might be some stipulation in there about him reviewing Morphe products on YouTube videos. That's just my opinion. So he might not be able to do that, and instead he might be able to, like, bypass that and do it, like, in a Twitch live stream or something like that, which would then explain why he did it on Twitch. And I think, you know, it's interesting when you look at the time of day that he did it. Well, all over the world, you know, it's like, okay, it's 1:30, you know, in the afternoon, or 2 o'clock whenever he did it, at where he is in California, but here it's like in the, you know, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4:30, you know, and then like in England it's 5 hours later. So I think the timing isn't that big of a deal, if that makes sense, about when he chose to do it. But I just don't think that whole Twitch review was that deep. Now, was it biased? Do people, you know, I don't know. Like, you know, after watching his Bad Baby review of the copycat makeup, I was very impressed, and I thought that he was very fair in saying some products were good and some products were bad. I really struggle believing Jeffree Star is, like, literally at the top of his game when it comes to makeup reviews. I really, really struggle believing that Jeffree Star would compromise his integrity as a makeup reviewer. I'm just talking about that integrity. His integrity as a makeup reviewer to give a false review of Morphe. I think he would just not do it if he couldn't give it a honest, fair review. I just think he wouldn't do it whatsoever. I just don't believe that Jeffree Star is somebody that's like, I mean, he makes his choices very, very fair. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like all of the things he could go do and be part of, and, you know, like reality shows and on and on and on. He chooses to just not be part of that. And I think that almost kind of adds to the mystery of Jeffree, so to speak, that, you know, there's always like red carpet things. Some he does, some he doesn't, you know. And I think his attitude is very much like, I don't have to. Like, I don't have to be part of that. Like, I'm exactly where I want to be in my life, and I don't have to be part of that. So I don't believe that he would get online and do some biased review if he didn't really believe in what he was saying, because I think he knows it's going to come back on him, you know? And so I'm not buying into the whole biased review thing. I'm just not. I don't think it speaks of who he is as a person. I mean, some people don't really love how direct and blatantly honest Jeffree Star is, but he is kind of, you know, to a fault, and I just don't believe that he would do that to compromise his integrity as a makeup reviewer, because if that were the case, you know, and if it came out that he truly did give a biased review to Morphe Foundation, and, you know, and then it was all because of him being a part owner in Morphe, like, his career would be over. Like, nobody would respect it anymore. Would he still sell makeup? Sure. But his reviews really wouldn't mean a whole lot anymore. And I just don't think he would be respected for the makeup. And I think it's very important to him. I really, really do. I mean, he's worked hard to get there. I don't think he's just going to hand it away. You know, my dad said to me years and years ago, you know, like, once you hand your integrity away, you can never get it back. So I just don't believe that, you know, he's just gonna, like, do that. I really struggle with that idea. So anyway, so that was the first thing. And then it's interesting because I heard about, all these people are speculating, is it a palette? Is it an eyeshadow palette? You know, what is it? Is it lipsticks? Is it lip scrubs? Is it face masks? I hope it's not face masks, but I do love a good face mask. But I had heard all of these things about these pink chrome brushes that he teased out in 2016 that were supposed to be a Morphe collab. So here's the picture I found on Pinterest of, like, I think it was like a Snapchat, like, little thing that he put out. And it says on here, Jeffree Star Morphe brush set summer 2016, and as we know, it never came out. And there's some, you know, speculation that had to do because he had a falling out with Jaclyn Hill at the time, and that Jaclyn kind of put a stop to that because basically Jaclyn Hill is Morphe. Now, we don't know that. But, I mean, it seems like she does love Morphe a lot, doesn't it? Oh, my God, Jaclyn Hill really likes Morphe. Oh, my God, Jaclyn Hill plus Morphe brushes equals love. Oh, my God, they are so in love with each other. So, anyway, no, but, like, it does seem like Jaclyn Hill really likes Morphe, and she probably has, you know, somewhat of a stake in the game. But her and Jeffree are fine now, so they can release the brushes. Now, here's what's interesting to me, okay? My gut, here's my opinion, my gut tells me it is going to be the brush set, all right? Because I have a feeling that they made them and that they were just sitting there and that he's never released them. So Morphe is probably, and there probably was a contract with that too, that at some point, if they were made, there probably was a contract at some point that we are going to release these brushes, right? But here, my gut tells me it's going to be the brushes. But here's what I really struggle with, right? Is, and we already know that the Blood Sugar Palette Part 2 is coming out this spring, but what's really interesting to me is that Jeffree Star is somebody that is so innovative and so creative. I mean, he always, like, you know, everything he does, he tops himself, you know, from the time before. And what's interesting to me about that is, I have a really hard time believing, unless he's bound to a contract. The other thing you have to remember, okay, is that there may be a time limit on the contract, that they have to be put out by a certain amount of time. Like, okay, we're not going to do it in 2016, but this contract lasts till a certain time, so time's coming up. So we're putting these brushes out. We made them, they're sitting in boxes, they're ready to go, right? Which would be interesting as well when you talk about, like, the longevity of a brush and things like that. I'm not even going to get into all that. But, you know, it's interesting to me that Jeffree, like, if he's going to do a collab with Morphe after all this time, it's going to be some pink brushes. Well, and, like, the thing is, I know people are going to buy it. Like, they're going to sell out like that. They just are. I mean, who doesn't want a good chrome pink brush set? I know I do. But you know what I mean? Like, they're going to sell out right away. They just are, because people are obsessed with Jeffree Star makeup. People are obsessed with Morphe. People love Jeffree Star. So if he puts these out, it's basically like merchandise. Somebody actually in the Twitter thread said, can we get a luxury brand clothing line collaboration with you? And you know what's really interesting to me about that? You know, we saw, like, the Supreme Louis Vuitton collaboration that came out. I really do believe that if Jeffree Star did a collab with Gucci, like, that would be a great, I would love to see that. I would also say, this is interesting, I was driving around and I was thinking about this to myself, and I was like, what would be, like, the perfect, like, item that Jeffree Star has not come out with? I would love to see Jeffree Star come out with an energy drink. Like, you know, he drinks Red Bulls all the time. He should come out with an energy drink, you know, and call it just like J-Star or something like that. But there's already Rockstar, so we need J-Star. Beauty Killer! Oh my God! Beauty Killer would be so great. Wouldn't that be great for an energy drink? So anyway, but I just have a hard time, unless he's bound to a contract that he can't get out of, why he would release the brushes. I mean, I know some people are excited about them, but they're not that exciting. They're brushes, okay? And they're gonna be high-end, overpriced brushes, because they're from Morphe, you know, and stuff like that, when you can get basically the same brush set, maybe not pink, I don't know, unless they're strawberry shortcake brushes, and they smell like strawberries. They probably do exist. Do those exist? Oh my God, do you have the strawberry shortcake brushes? Send them to me. I want them so bad. But anyway, I used to love strawberry shortcake when I was a kid. I'm sure that's hard for y'all to believe, but I did. But anyway, so I hope it's really something exciting, like more than that. And I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't teased out more than just a day in advance. Like, Jeffree really teases stuff out, so it's kind of almost like he's like a little bored with the whole thing. Like, yep, doing a collab with Morphe. So that makes me think it is these brushes, and he's bound to it by some kind of contract that he has to put them out by a certain time. I don't know, I could be completely wrong. What do you guys think? What's your opinion? Put your opinion in the comment section below. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, and I'll either be doing a Jeffree Star, Morphe, oh my God, we're so excited! Or I will be doing the Shane Dawson review tomorrow. I love you guys, and I will see you then. Bye.